Jason, just talk about the way you guys just dominated almost from start to finish. Kind of a perfect game, so to speak.
Yeah, I think we learned from, the past. We can't take anybody lightly. I thought the energy and effort was great for the 48 minutes, and for those guys who played there at the end, I thought they played the right way and continue to work on our habits.
Tell us what you got from your backcourt tonight between Luka and Jalen Boyd.
They didn't foul, did they? No, they did. They had, no, one did. I thought they were great, the balance. Luka, I thought again, we're trying to move him around a little bit on the court, put him into some different spots to see how the defense is going to react. And I thought he took what they gave him. He got to the free throw line, and then he's finding guys, and guys are knocking down shots. And then I think JB's just, doing a great job of catch and shoot and setting the table for him to be able to get to the basket or find a teammate.
Did you kind of talk to them, based on what happened against Orlando and Oklahoma City, not to play down to the competition, so to speak?
Yeah, we talk about it a lot, learning from our past experiences and what we can control, and our energy and effort tonight was high. No matter who we play, that's the way we have to come out. We can't just wait for the good teams. We have to respect everyone and understand, execute the game plan, and take care of business so guys don't have to play that many minutes in the fourth quarter.
Jason, you mentioned that the trade deadline can sometimes be a distraction for certain teams. How have you seen your guys focus with that approaching this week?
I told them it was over. No, it's here, right? And it gets real crazy the last 48 hours. Rumors start flying even more. Trades start to take place. So I thought again the guys aren't paying attention to that. They're going out there and doing their job, and that's just the character of those guys in that locker room. No matter who we're playing, they come out and they do what they have to, win or lose. They're doing their job, and that's just again the character of that group in there.
You mentioned wanting your main guys to have to play deep in the fourth quarter. Was there something you wanted to look at with Luka there to start the fourth?
He asked if he could play 2 more minutes to get closer to 44, and I said that's fine. It was just a joke.
Oh, okay.
He wants to play 48. So, he wanted to play a couple more minutes, and if we could take care of business, then after that he was done. So he runs the show.
I feel like I've seen Brunson spotting up and working out of the corners more often. Am I seeing that right? And is that a purposeful thing?
I don't know if he's. I think he's getting a lot of shots out of the corner. I think Callie brought up, some of the things that he's grown, and I said there's a secret. And I don't know if you guys never asked him, but he's working on catch and shoot at a very, very high level. Some say he couldn't do it. Some say he could, and so he's, and then it makes the game so easy for him because now they don't close out. You catch and shoot, and if you do, you're at the mercy of what he does best, and so it's a beautiful thing to watch.
Do you give him a number of threes you want him trying to get up per game? Do you guys ever talk about volume?
No. I tried that once with a player back when threes weren't popular, and they thought, shooting 4 was good enough. So I try not to put a number in someone's head because then they're thinking about, did I get to 8? Did I get to 10? Instead of just taking the shots that present themselves, good shots. And again, it's a great question because of the way the 3 is used now. The more 3 attempts you get, probably the better chance of winning. But I think for any of guys like Luka, guys who can catch and shoot, it just makes you a little bit faster and be able to get to your mid-range or to your floater. And that's what I think Brunson is doing at a high level now. He's added, to catch and shoot, so it's going to be hard to guard him.
If he passes one up that, is that something you get on him about?
No, I trust him. He's a quarterback. He sees it. He's playing. I'm not, and so the trust level is high. Yeah, I don't get on anybody. I try to tell them whatever you see. I see things differently. They see things differently. But trying to keep things simple and improving as we go here, as the break comes to an end. and then we'll talk about those things. What can we get better at as a team and individually? Is it shooting more threes? Again, I think we've shot the same amount of threes that we had early in the season. It was just, they were bricks. And right now they're starting to, go in for us.
They look a lot better when they go in.
Oh, they feel better too.
Could you describe what you've got out of Trey Burke, particularly these last two games?
Trey, we said all the great things about him last time, and now he comes back and does it again for us. He's getting minutes. We've kind of put him ahead of Frank right now, not because of anything Frank has done, but we need to see, TV in that situation, and he's taking full advantage of it, and he's playing at a high level for us.
How difficult is that to sit so long and not knowing when you're going to play it in to come out and produce like
That's
that?
a great question for him. Unfortunately, I sat when I knew I couldn't play no more, so it's got to be hard. It's got to be hard. But that just shows that, again, the coaches and TB and the rest of the guys who don't play a lot of minutes are working on their game when they have the time, and they'll work on it tomorrow.
We got a couple ones in. Landon, go ahead.
Hey, Jason, Luka has 10-plus assists in each of his last 7 games, longest streak of his career. Talk about his ability to share the ball with teammates making shots right now, and do you know who has the franchise record at 8 games?
Yeah, I think I know who holds the record. That would be Dirk. Dirk holds all the Mavs records. Even if it's not true, they're going to pencil him in there. So, and then Luka's playing, I think, again, quarterback he's making all the right reads. He's finding his teammates. It's a great balance. Guys are getting wide open shots, and so that's amazing what he's done in such a short career of the things that he's doing. And he'll break that record. If Dirk owns it, he'll break it. So that's kind of cool. But I don't know who owns the record. Derek Harper or Brad Davis.
Maybe you.
I wasn't here long enough.
I think you were here 8 games at one point.
I must have threw the ball to Dirk a lot.
Last one, Kevin Gray.
Hey, Coach, this team back on December 29th was 16-18. Since then, you guys have won 16 out of your last 21. What have you learned most about this group and their ability to put that start behind them and now see them playing some of the best basketball that they've played this season?
Yeah, I think it's not about the wins and losses. It's really about adapting to the atmosphere. We've been, we didn't shoot the ball straight. We're learning a new system. We're talking more about defense than offense early on, and we're trying to find a way to win. Then you have COVID. I think it's just the ability to adapt and play for one another, and no matter who's in or who's out, they truly trust one another, and it's really cool to see the accountability and the chemistry coming together.
How you doing?
Trey, what's the challenge for you, when you set so many games and all that, to come out there and they expect you to produce, and then you go out there and produce?
Remember who I am as a player. It's easy to do that for a week or two, but after it goes for a certain amount of time, you start to question, like, dang, is it me? You know what I mean? So, I know the coaching staff trusts me and knows what I can do. So, it's an individual challenge, really, and I'm not the only guy that goes through it. I think, though, being on a few teams where I've had to, sit at times, I've learned how to stay ready, stay prepared. I always talk about it, when, I do have big games after not playing. But it's the nights after practice coming in. It's the early mornings before practice getting work in. It's just a habit on a daily basis that, start to come out when the opportunity presents itself. Along with faith, believing in who I am, believing, what I can do out there on the court, what I can bring, and also my teammates, they want the best for me. Every time I go out there, don't be nobody else, be you, be aggressive, and that's encouraging for me.
Trey, you all have one of the the trade deadline on Thursday. How has, Jason mentions that focus is a big thing around this time of year and that teams can tend to get distracted or off kilter. How have Jason and the staff kind of approached that with you guys? Is it something that they discuss? Is it something they reinforce? Or is it just kind of?
No, it's definitely an area of emphasis for sure right now. Not only is the deadline right around the corner, All-Star break is too. It's very easy around this time of the year to relax. It's just sometimes human nature. Very easy to just kind of be like, you know, we're in fifth, we're in fourth right now. Let's bullshit around right now in warm-ups, you know what I mean? That leads over to the game. I think, you know, with the team we have, we're a little bit of a younger team on paper. And, you know, the way we approach warm-ups, before the game, the way we approach warm-ups at halftime is very, very important, very critical. And that's something that me as a vet, I'm starting to realize. So I try to, you know, keep guys, you know, focused and concentrated regardless of what the scoreboard says.
Speaking of focus and concentrate, what did you guys learn after those losses last week to Orlando and Oklahoma City?
I think we learned a lot from it. We started out really well in Orlando, shooting the ball good, but sometimes that's not good for us. If we're shooting the ball well on offense, we tend to let up on defense. But when we allow our defense to pretty much determine how our offense is, you know, we're a totally different team. You know, we feel like we can play with anyone in the league when we're really locked in on the defensive end, 1 through 5, and that's going to be our challenge going forward.
18 minutes tonight, Max. How you feel after not playing for a while?
Feeling good. You know, obviously, like the first game back is always testing your wind a little bit, but I felt good out there.
What about the team overall? I mean, you guys are 16-5 in the last 21 games.
Yeah, I mean, we lost 2 games that we shouldn't have lost, you know, so the team made up for it. Pretty big wins for us. We have some more home games, so we obviously want to win them too, and we got to continue with the flow that we have right now.
So you got 2 knees again?
Yeah,
What,
we got 2 knees again.
What did you do on the one?
A lot of treatment. I think a little rest helped, and now we're back to normal.
Was it just wear and tear type of stuff, or?
Yeah, I mean, I was sore a little bit, and then in the OKC game, Giddy fell on it again, so I got hyperextended a little bit, and I think that didn't help. And then, you know, I turned 30, so maybe that's why, I don't know. But we did some treatment, and now it's all good again.
Did you have to get a drain or anything like
No,
that?
nothing, just treatment.
Max, you guys have only been healthy for 4 games all season. What's the ceiling for this team if you can get healthy and stay healthy?
I mean, we're going to be excited for the day that we're all healthy for longer than 4 games only. But, you know, we have a lot of potential. I think for a lot of the first half of the season, we didn't really show up offensively, or we didn't show what potential we have, and we still have room to improve there. But we've shown that we are a good defensive team and we can be a lot better. And, you know, that gives us a chance to win all the time, like I said, at multiple times. If we continue getting better on offense, you know, it will help us, obviously. But the defense is the key for us right now.
This is kind of an odd timed question, but going off of the idea of having everybody back healthy, when KP has been healthy this year, where have you noticed him being most impactful as compared to maybe last year when he never quite hit full strength?
I think he's going a little bit more in the post, which helps us, you know, especially against smaller guys. He can just shoot over them. And, you know, he's just another guy that spaces the floor. So even if he doesn't get the shot, the possession, you know, he spreads out the defense and gives the guards more room to penetrate. So I think that's where he showed up a lot more. And I would say also on the defensive end, he's doing a better job this year again. He's back to himself again, and it's good to see, you know. I know how it feels to be out with like injuries or small stuff all the time, so I'm just happy for the times when he has been healthy, and I hope he comes back soon again.
Could you talk about how valuable a guy like Theo is, the way he's over there encouraging you guys and cheerleading and standing up in the whole game like he's a coach?
I mean, I don't know if you guys, or how much you guys see, but he's the energy, you know, 24/7 practice, in the weight room, no matter where, on the sideline, he's always cheering for everybody. He's always in a good mood, getting energy, positive feedback to everybody. So he's like kind of like the motor for the team, you know, even though he's not playing. Yeah.
Do you feel more pressure to hit a shot when it's Luka throwing you some crazy no look? Because you finished the one layup you had. It was off a pretty good Luka feed.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when I'm open, I just try to shoot my shot. I don't think if the pass was crazy or not, but sometimes when he goes down or like dribbles into the paint and then all of a sudden there's a crazy pass coming. I'm like, wow, how did he see that? Like in a moment when you shoot it, but you know the pressure on the shot would be the same. You open, you gotta let it fly.
Jason revealed the secret of what you've been working to add to your game, which is some more catch and shoot. So now that we know, how long has that been kind of a focus for you, and where do you see that going these last few games?
It's always been a focus. I think every year I go into every offseason thinking just being more consistent, and then once I get to the start of the season, it's kind of the same thing. You see what's working and what's not working at certain points during the year, and just focus on getting back to that. It's been a focus, but just trying to be consistent at all levels of my game, and yeah, that's one part. We're working on a lot of things, but that's definitely one of them.
See, I thought I figured it out. I was gonna ask you if it was working out of the corners more often. I know you end up there and like sometimes out of like pistol sets and stuff, you end up swatting up in the corner and you can take it more from there. But
Yeah.
Is it just an overall mindset for you?
Yeah, it's wherever I catch the ball on the court, just trying to be a threat. Whether it's with the catch and shoot or being able to attack or playing in the mid range, I try and keep people off balance by just trying to attack all three.
Jalen, after what happened last week against Orlando and Oklahoma City, was this one of those games where you guys want to not let your guard down against a team that didn't have a good record?
I mean, we try and play that every night. I think it was definitely kind of talked about, saying we got to respect these guys no matter what. I mean, they're NBA players, coached by NBA coaches, and we got to go out there and just play our style of basketball for 48 minutes and play as hard as we can. Started out just a little lackadaisical, and ended up kind of getting a groove in the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, we kind of slipped up defensively a little bit, but we eventually found our groove again and able to keep a team under 100 again.
Right.
Yes.
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns?
Yeah.
What's that, 6 points?
Oh, you kept one or 2 touchdowns?
I know, what's a touchdown?
I mean, I'm assuming that's a point.
No, I'm European. I don't know that type of football.
Well, the Eagles don't score a lot either.
Okay.
I
guess I
yeah,
kind of.
set yourself up for that
You
one.
threw the line.
Yeah.
It's a half court long.
Could you tell us what you guys have been getting from Trey Burke, particularly these last 2 games?
Trey's being Trey. Trey is just being himself. It's amazing what happens when you guys are shocked. I mean, because he hasn't played a lot, and to be able to be that effective, coming off the bench is spectacular. But we see what he can do. I mean, me and Trey, we play a lot of one-on-one together. I know what he can do. It's nothing new to us. So I'm happy for him, but we know what he's capable of.
Speaking of players being capable of doing something, could you tell us a little bit about what you guys are getting from Theo as far as being a cheerleader there on the bench?
I would say, I get what you're saying, but I would say he's more than just a cheerleader. He's that person who just gives energy. And it's not just by cheering you guys on, it's also by telling us if we messed up on the scouting report, what the scouting report is, but he knows every single detail of what we're supposed to do. And so he does that for us. It's really special, and it goes way past just being a cheerleader. He's helping us X's and O's wise.
Luka, that lob you threw from half court to Dodo, you went no look on that. Was that for fun, or were you trying to look something off there?
I mean, I tried to defend. There was one defender there, so there was, I think, one more guy on the left. I don't know who he was. So I was just trying to, the way I was looking there, so he can get a lob, That's it.
So you lobbied to play 2 more minutes to start the fourth for Jason, or what was that? You just having fun?
Yeah, I asked, just to close out the game, just let me in a couple more. So, we were up by then by a lot. So that's it. I just, close the game out.
Kid said you're wanting to play 48 these days.
Well, yeah, I mean, not 48, I gotta rest a little bit, but
44?
yeah, 44, 45.
Well, look, I know you guys want to win every game, but how important is it to win games against bad teams like this one?
I mean, it's very important, I think we learned our lesson with Orlando and OKC, we're obviously a better team, but they have great players. We didn't come out as the way we should, but we learned from that.
Could you tell us a little bit about what you got from Trey Burke, particularly tonight and the other night, Sunday night?
I mean, it's great to have him, he's always ready, sometimes he don't play, so he's always ready. He always gives 100% when he's out there, and we just appreciate having him.
Luka, we didn't get to talk to you after last game, but was it nice not having 5 fouls to deal with for like this entire second half this time?
Yeah, I mean, those were some, I don't know what to say, but some fouls weren't fouls, but especially in third, you can't call that a fifth foul. So, I just try not to foul today.
Did you feel like you earned your technical foul today?
No, not at all.
What did you say to get it?
I don't know what I said, but I was just saying it was a foul, Every time I do this, it's here. But not at all. I didn't even yell or nothing, and I gotta talk. I think I can get that back, because for sure I didn't deserve that.
We got one on Zoom, Kevin.
Luka, this team is 16-5 in its last 21 games. What would you say is the biggest difference in how you guys have approached each game to have you guys playing the kind of basketball that you're playing right now?
It's our defense for sure. We change our defense. Not change, but we talk more. We're more aggressive, more energy, and that's the key. We get stops and then we run. We play fast basketball, and that's our key.